everyone. Welcome back to Business English Desk. I'm Laura.
And I'm Jamie. What is up, everybody?
Okay, if you're joining us for the first time, first of all, welcome. We're so glad you're here. And if you're a regular, oh my gosh, you already know how we do things around here.
We talk English, we have fun, and we maybe go off on a few tangents.
Maybe a few.
But it's always worth it.
Always. Okay, so before we dive in, if this podcast is helping you level up your English, do us a tiny favor and hit subscribe. Like, it literally takes 2 seconds and it helps us so much.
2 seconds. You can do it right now while we're talking. We won't judge.
We will not judge at all. Okay, so today's topic, Jamie, tell them.
Today, we are tackling one of the most confusing grammar topics for English learners everywhere.
Ooh.
Would versus used to.
Yes. And okay, I feel like this one trips people up so much because on the surface, they look almost identical.
Right, like they both talk about the past.
Exactly. And people think, oh, I can just swap them out whenever.
And then a native speaker gives them a weird look.
The confused face. We've all been there. But don't worry, by the end of this episode, you are going to know exactly when to use which one. We promise.
Solid promise. Let's get into it.
Okay, so first things first, let's talk about what would and used to actually share, because they do have stuff in common, and that's honestly why it gets confusing.
Right, so both of them can describe past habits, like things you did over and over again in the past, but you don't do anymore.
Yes, so for example, I used to walk to school every day. Past habit doesn't happen anymore.
And you could also say, I would walk to school every day. Also a past habit, also doesn't happen anymore.
Both correct, both totally natural. So then the question is, if they mean the same thing, why do we even have both? Great question, Jamie.
Thank you, Laura. I thought so too.
Okay, so here's the thing. They are not always interchangeable. There are situations where only one works, and that's what we're breaking down today.
Starting with used to, because honestly, this one's a little easier to wrap your head around.
Okay, so used to. The structure is super simple. Subject, used to, base verb. That's it.
I used to play tennis. She used to live in Paris. We used to have a dog.
Easy, right? And notice always the base form of the verb, not past tense, not I used to played. Nope.
Just the base verb. Used to play, used to live, used to have.
Now, here's the thing that makes used to special. It works for two things, past habits and past states.
Ooh, okay, so what's a past state?
So a past state is like a condition, a situation, something that was true but isn't anymore.
Give me an example.
Okay, I used to be afraid of dogs. That's not an action, that's a feeling, a state of being. You can't really do being afraid.
Right, it's just how things were.
Exactly. Or this building used to be a cinema. The building isn't doing anything, it just was a cinema. Past state.
Oh, that's a good one. Like when you're walking around a city and you're like, oh, there used to be a coffee shop here.
Yes, oh my gosh, exactly. I do that all the time in my neighborhood. There used to be this amazing little bakery on the corner.
Did it close?
It closed, and now it's a nail salon, which, fine, but I miss the croissants.
Rip to the croissants.
Rip. Okay, so past states, past habits. Used to handles both. Got it?
Got it. Now, what about the negative and question forms? Because I know this trips people up.
Yes. Okay, so for negatives, I didn't used to like vegetables. Notice you drop the D from used because did is already showing you're in the past.
So it's not I didn't use to. Wait, actually both versions get said by native speakers, right?
Honestly, yes, you'll hear both didn't used to and didn't used to in real life, but technically the correct written form is didn't use to, no D.
Good to know. And for questions?
Did you use to live here? Did she use to work there? Same thing, drop the D because did is doing that job.
Clean. I like it.
Okay, now let's talk about would, and specifically would for past habits, because that's the version we're comparing to used to.
So would for past habits, same structure. Subject, would, base verb. I would walk to school. She would visit her grandmother every weekend.
And here's the key thing about would. It's only for actions, repeated actions, not states.
This is the big one.
This is the big one. So you cannot say, I would be afraid of dogs. That doesn't work.
Because being afraid is a state, not an action.
Exactly. You have to say, I used to be afraid of dogs.
What about this building would be a cinema?
Nope, doesn't work, because it's describing what the building was, a state. So it has to be, this building used to be a cinema.
Okay, so states equals only used to. Actions equal either one works.
Yes, you got it. That's literally the core rule.
And there's one more thing about would, right? It kind of needs backup.
Yes. Okay, so would usually needs some context around it, like a time expression or a situation.
So if you just say, I would smoke, it sounds a little incomplete.
A little hanging, yeah. But if you say, when I was stressed, I would smoke, now it makes total sense.
Or, every evening I would sit on the porch and read.
Perfect. The time expression, every evening, gives would the context it needs to land properly.
Versus, I used to smoke. That's fine on its own. I used to smoke. Done. Complete sentence.
Totally complete. So if you're ever unsure, used to is your safe bet.
The safety net.
It really is.
Okay, let's line them up. The key differences, nice and clear.
Ooh, yes, let's do a little comparison moment.
Difference 1, states versus actions. Used to works for both. Would works only for actions.
So, I used to have a bicycle. That's possession. That's a state. Only used to works. I would have a bicycle. Wrong.
But I rode my bicycle every day. Action. Both work. I would ride my bicycle every day. Also correct.
Yes. Okay, difference 2?
Difference 2, context. Used to can stand alone. I used to play piano. That's a full, clear sentence.
But I would play piano sounds like you're waiting for a but or a when. It feels unfinished.
Better as, every evening I would play piano. Now it flows.
Difference 3, and this one's fun. Formality and vibe.
Ooh, yeah, so used to is your everyday conversational workhorse. Super common, super clear.
But would, when you use it to talk about the past, it has this nostalgic, almost literary quality to it.
Like you're telling a story around a campfire.
Yes, exactly that energy. Like, when I was young, I would spend hours playing in the garden. That sounds so wistful and beautiful.
Versus, I used to spend hours playing in the garden, which is also fine, but it's more matter of fact.
Right, would adds that emotional storytelling layer.
Difference 4, emphasis. Used to emphasizes that something has changed. I used to smoke. Strong implication that I don't smoke anymore.
But would emphasizes the pattern, the regularity. I would smoke after every meal. You're picturing that happening over and over.
Different focus, same past tense territory. Cool, right?
Super cool. Okay, and difference 5, negatives and questions. Used to has a clear negative form. I didn't used to like spicy food.
But for would, we don't really say, I wouldn't walk to school to mean a past habit. That sounds weird.
Yeah, for negatives about past habits, just stick with didn't used to.
And for questions, did you used to play an instrument is way more natural than trying to use would for that.
So in question form, used to wins. Okay, let's talk about the mistakes, because knowing the rules is great, but knowing where people go wrong is even better.
Hit me.
Mistake 1, using would for states. I would have a dog when I was young. Nope.
Should be, I used to have a dog when I was young, because having a dog is a state, possession.
Mistake 2, using would without any context. I would play tennis. Hanging there, a little awkward.
Either say, I used to play tennis, perfectly fine, or add context. Every weekend, I would play tennis.
Mistake 3, and this is a spelling and pronunciation one, confusing used to with used to in negatives and questions.
In negatives and questions, you drop the D. Did you used to live here? Not used to. The D already lives in did.
And there's another trap, confusing used to with be used to. These are totally different.
Oh, this is a big one.
I used to run every day. Past habit doesn't happen anymore.
Versus, I'm used to running every day, meaning I'm accustomed to it. It's normal for me now.
Completely different meaning. One is about the past, one is about the present.
So if someone says, I'm used to the cold, they're not talking about the past. They mean the cold doesn't bother them anymore. They're accustomed to it.
Yes, don't mix those up.
And last mistake, using would for single events. Yesterday, I would go to the store. No, no, no.
Using would for past habits is about things that happened repeatedly, not one-time events.
Yesterday, I went to the store. Simple past. Done.
Or if you're talking about your old habit, I used to go to that store all the time, but not would for a single yesterday moment.
Okay, I have an idea. What if we just have a conversation, like we're pretending we're looking at old photos?
Oh, I love this. Yes, let's do it. Listeners, pay attention to how we use would and used to naturally, okay? Here we go.
Oh, wow, look at this picture. Is that you with the bowl cut?
Oh my gosh, don't. I used to have the worst haircut. I genuinely used to think it looked good.
And those glasses, were those...
They were enormous. I used to wear glasses that were way too big for my face. It was a whole look.
Okay, but do you remember what we used to do every single morning before work?
The coffee shop. Every morning we would meet at that little place on 5th.
And you would always get the same oat milk latte.
Because it was perfect. I used to be super predictable about my coffee order. Zero shame.
And I would sit at the window seat every single time. Every single time.
You used to be so particular about that. If someone was already sitting there, you'd get this look on your face.
I did not. Okay, maybe I did.
After work, we would always walk through the park, remember?
Oh yeah, we would talk about everything. Work drama, weekend plans.
I used to think those walks would never end, and I was totally fine with that.
Me too, honestly. Life used to feel so uncomplicated.
It really did. I didn't used to worry about half the things I stress about now.
But would you actually go back?
Honestly, sometimes, but nah. We used to be a lot less wise.
Speak for yourself.
Okay, that's the end of our role play, listeners.
Did you catch all of that? Used to for states. I used to have the worst haircut. Life used to feel uncomplicated. Would for repeated actions. We would meet every morning. I would sit at the window seat.
And time expressions with would. Every morning, every single time, after work. That's what makes would sound natural. Okay, let's practice. Repeat these sentences out loud. Seriously, say them. Don't just listen.
Jamie, ready? Here we go.
I used to play outside every day.
Say it. I used to play outside every day.
Every summer, we would go camping.
Come on. Every summer we would go camping.
She used to be very shy.
You've got this. She used to be very shy.
After school, I would do my homework.
After school, I would do my homework.
And one more. There used to be a store here.
There used to be a store here.
Beautiful. Now a longer one. Ready?
Hit us.
When I was younger, I used to be afraid of the dark. But every night I would force myself to sleep without a light.
Okay, that one's great because it has both. Used to be afraid, state, and would force myself, repeated action.
Yes, one sentence, both rules perfectly demonstrated.
Try it. When I was younger, I used to be afraid of the dark. But every night I would force myself to sleep without a light.
Incredible practice sentence, honestly.
Okay, let's bring it home. Rapid fire recap.
Both would and used to, past habits, repeated actions, both work.
Used to also works for past states. Would does not work for states, ever.
Used to can stand alone. I used to swim. Done.
Would needs context. Every morning I would swim. That's the move.
Used to emphasizes change. Something was true before, not anymore.
Would emphasizes the pattern, the repetition, the rhythm of it.
Used to, great for conversation. Would, great for storytelling and nostalgia.
Negative form. I didn't used to like that. No D after use.
Questions. Did you used to go there? Again, no D.
And do not mix up used to do with be used to doing. Completely different.
If you're unsure, just use used to. It's your safety net. It works in more situations and you can never go wrong.
That's the golden tip right there.
Okay, we have a final challenge for you.
Ooh, I like challenges.
Go to the comments right now after you finish listening and write us a short story from your childhood or your past using both would and used to.
Could be anything. Where you used to live, what you used to do, how things used to be.
And what you would do on weekends or after school or every summer.
We genuinely read every single comment, so write something.
We would love to hear about your past. See what I did there?
Oh, nice. We would love to hear. Repeated action, natural context, smooth.
I had to. Okay, that's a wrap on today's episode of Business English Desk.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us. Seriously, it means a lot.
If this helped you, share it with a friend who's learning English, or a coworker, or your group chat, anyone.
And subscribe if you haven't yet. We drop new episodes every week, and they are always worth your time.
See you next time.
Keep practicing,
Stay curious.
and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye.
Bye, everyone.